So now we will get the arrow icon is there, everything is set up. So unlike Lucid Motors, we have 3 images, but they just have this background video. So we have to have 3 icons placed. So we are gonna have 3 arrows. First of all, let's put up 1 arrow and test this, okay? So let's go back to index.html, and then I'll scroll down for this first image, which is web design, and after the carousel caption I am going to put up an image, or rather inside carousel caption we can just put up the image. So just the image source is images/arrow.png, and let's say all these images are available, simple as always. So you can see this. So of course we have reduced the size of this arrow. So we can just give a simple width of here HTML attribute. The width is at around 64 pixels. We downloaded 64 pixels, so the width should be at around 16 pixels, and it is very small. So you can just select like that. You can just give the width as 32 pixels, and I think 32 pixels will do the work. So guys, the next thing to do is wrap this image element inside the div, and then give this div a class something like arrow down, just a class to have a margin top. So I'll go to arrow down in my CSS style.css, and I will be giving a margin top to something at around 20 pixels, 20%. So I think 20% will make it like go down. Yep, I think that is pretty good. I'll be putting something like 25, and yeah, okay, 25. So in these pictures you have to know that it is not there because we did not copy them into these pictures, okay? So we will be copying this arrow down class div, and then put it inside the carousel caption of the second image and third image. But first of all, let's fix this animation thing. So in Lucid Air you can see this arrow is fading like this, and when you click on this arrow it will take you to some place. First let's see how this fading, or rather the jumping animation work. We are not going to embed a fading animation, we are going to embed a jumping animation. It is simple. In CSS there is a property similar to margin top and margin bottom. There is a CSS property known as animation, okay? Animation is a CSS property, and you can say animation : bounce, and the number of time it should bounce. So I will just say like 3 seconds, and how many times it should bounce up and down. If you want, you can say 100, 200. I will just say infinite. Infinite means it would be jumping here and there for 3 seconds forever until the 3 seconds are over, okay? So if you refresh, if you save this, so this bounce is not just a predefined animation. That means animations are not defined in CSS. We have to define this animation by ourselves. Bouncing, we have to define the bounce animation. Bounce means just a name I gave. You can just give any name. You can just give play or rather anything. And we have to make this animation using CSS, and let's see how we are going to make this CSS animation bounce. So if we want to define our own set of animations, for example anything we want, we have to use this CSS attribute known as @keyframes, okay? @keyframes means define set of animation keyframe. Normally in animations there are frames, number of frames per second. If you are a photographer, if you know that there is something called FPS, frames per second in cameras they have. How many shots it takes, how many frames are running per second. So normally in the camera it would be like 60. Similar to that one, CSS keyframes means what is the first frame, second frame and the third frame. Firstly make the first frame, then after 3 seconds make the second frame, after 3 seconds make the other frame. Like that you have to define this frame. Those are keyframes. So we are using this CSS property @keyframes, and then just understand this, okay? Try to understand this. It is @keyframes, and it is working in all these browsers, best browsers like Chrome, Firefox and Safari. You are going to say our name, which is bounce. You can say your name if you say play or just up and down. Inside this one, first of all what I am going to say is we have to bounce this. That means bounce it up and down 20, So what we need to say is, we need to get it by 0, 20, 50, 20, 40, 80. So what should happen? Let me say 0%, 20% slash 100%, 20%, 50%, 80% and 100%. So what should happen? So that is CSS property called translate while. Okay, translate while, and it is 0. 40%, I would say transform and translate y. Translate y is minus 30 pixels. Okay, I'll explain this in a moment. So then 60% is transform, translate y. Transform, translate y is minus 15 pixels. Let's see what is this. A bouncing animation? Huh? So let's see how this behind logic works of this animation. It is a bouncing animation. Okay. It says when it is in 0%, 20%, 50%, 80%, 100%, make it 0. Okay. And if it is in 40%, make it minus 30. 0 means the exact position where it is. Like you can see in the right side. When it is 0%, it is in the exact position. When it is in 20%, so it goes to 10%, 20%, it is still in the exact position. When it goes to 30%, 40%, what happens is it goes down for minus 30 pixels. Okay, minus 30 goes down and it comes back to again minus 60%, and it goes down again minus 15, and then again 80%. What happens is it comes back again to 0, 100% again to 0, 0, 20, 40, again 40, back to minus 30. So this is bouncing infinite effect. Okay, 3 seconds take you to move from 0 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to 100. Okay, 3 seconds take you from go to 0 to 100%. Okay,